Two-time Stanley Cup champion goaltender Matt Murray. Pierre, LeBrun, Craig Button, and Gino Reda with some instant analysis on the trade. Well, gentlemen, we knew the Sens needed a goalie when they cut loose Craig Anderson, and they had an abundance of second-round picks. They brought it all together and made it happen. So the Ottawa Senators acquire Matt Murray from the Pittsburgh Penguins for a second-round pick. That's 52nd overall, and forward prospect Jonathan Gruden, who they took 95th overall back in the 2018 draft. Pierre, how did this deal come together?
Well, certainly patience, I think, proved to be a virtue for the Ottawa Senators here in GM Pierre Dorion, because when the Pittsburgh Penguins first put Matt Murray on the market, it's our understanding is that they were asking teams for a first-round pick, and why not? I mean, that was 6-7 weeks ago when the Penguins first put him out there. Among the teams that had conversations with Pittsburgh about Matt Murray were the Edmonton Oilers and the Carolina Hurricanes and a few other teams. But Ottawa always made sense to me. And certainly if the Penguins had any designs on Ottawa's 28th overall pick Tuesday night, I'm told that Pierre Dorion made it clear with Jim Rutherford that that pick was off limits. So this was always going to be about whether the Penguins could live with that second round pick, and ultimately they got themselves there, which was wise, I think, of the Penguins, because once you get into free agency on Friday, now you're competing with a number of free agent goalies that are available to teams looking for help, and you don't have to give up an asset. So Pittsburgh had to make this deal before Friday, and they also wanted to make it so that they got a draft pick in the draft this year and not next year. Now, certainly for the Ottawa Senators, they have to sign Matt Murray now. Matt Murray has arbitration rights, and a one-year award would bring him to UFA status next year. And I spoke with Matt Murray's agent, Rob Hooper, a few minutes after the trade was done, or at least a few minutes after he spoke with his client. And he said that Matt Murray was excited by this opportunity, that he hoped that contract talks with the Senators would go smoothly because they view this as a great opportunity, and I agree. Once they get Matt Murray signed, I think this is a deal that the Senators and their fans will be pretty happy with.
Well, and Pierre, when you think about Matt Murray and the Ottawa Senators, you think about draft capital, all those second-round draft picks, and they used one of them to acquire something that's going to help their team right now. It's a little bit similar to when the Toronto Maple Leafs acquired Freddie Anderson. He was 1 year away from unrestricted free agency. Lou Lamoriello signed him to a 5-year contract, but it was significant to help the Toronto Maple Leafs move forward with their young group of players. It's exactly what the Ottawa Senators are trying to do with their young group of players.
So the Ottawa Senators, after dealing that second round of the Pittsburgh Penguins, had 6 picks through the first 2 rounds. Let's recap them for you. They got a sniper in Tim Stützle at 3rd overall, a possible top pairing D-man in Jake Sanderson at 5th, a little grit in Ridley Craig, and then Craig 2 more wingers and another D-man in the second round. How did the Ottawa Senators do through the first 2 rounds?
Exceptionally well, in that you wouldn't expect anything less when you have 3 first-round picks, 2, 3, and 5. We've talked about 3, 5, and 28, Stützle, Sanderson, and Greg. You can go on tsn.ca to hear my draft profile breakdowns. Let's begin with Robbie Urventi, their first pick in the second round. A fleet skating winger who has continuously improved his game. He's played well, he can skate, he attacks the net, and he can make plays at high pace and speed. He just adds to a really terrific group of young forwards. Now you go to defenseman Tyler Kleven, more of a defensive type defenseman, big, skates well, territorial, very capable of playing physically, but also can get that puck up to the forwards. And I really love the pick of Igor Sokolov with their last pick in the second round. He's an older player, but he's big and he's got soft hands. He can score and he's ready to play. I think he can challenge for a spot on the Ottawa Senators when the season begins. And if he doesn't get on the roster, he wouldn't be that far away from playing. But a big body, and when he went to the World Junior last year and played for Russia, it really took his confidence to another level. And once that confidence went up, his productivity did as well.
So the Ottawa Senators have acquired a ton of potential through the first 2 rounds of this year's NHL Draft. Now they need a little productivity and production to see this organization